Shubkamna, everybody. My name's Anita Makharia, and I'm the founder CEO of Shubkamna. Shubkamna is into events. We create mesmerizing experiences and celebrate happiness. Today, I'm here to discuss about the demand and scope of events. I wouldn't use the word teach because teach becomes a very, very vibrant and a very big word. Today, we are here to just understand what events mean to each one of us. For me, events is more than a passion. It is something which I just love doing thoroughly. It is something which keeps me busy and keeps me occupied, and it is something which I just love. One day without an event or being on field makes me feel very sad, and it's just not me. I have to be on field. I am an events person, and that is what keeps me going, and that is what keeps my team going. We are a team of enthusiasts who are into the business of creating impactful and mesmerizing experiences for our clients. We create and combine style with elegance, and we also blend traditions with innovations, and that is what becomes our USP. We give a lot of value to relationships, and that is why clients stick with us time and again and are always waiting for our proposals and our ideas. I started my career as a professional with a company called AdTree as a partner and head of planning and strategy. Predominantly, we were into BTL activations, but as I said, that our clients, value our relationships more than anything else. So even when there were some social event requirements like weddings or other milestone celebrations, they always used to say, Anita, can you do it for us? It was both a business opportunity for us as well as something which we love doing. Who does not like a celebration? All of us love celebrations, right? It brings us cheers, it brings us happiness. And that is why we realized that, okay, let us venture out and let us start an arm or extended wing called Shubkamna. So this is a brief story about Shubkamna. And yes, we always believe in creating experiences and wow elements for our clients. Coming back to the purpose of today's session, yes, in today's session, we are going to discuss about the demand and scope of events. What we would be covering in this session would be the various, what is an event? I'm sure each one of us have read and understood different ways of telling what an event is. So I will tell you what an event could mean to me. What are the different types of events? What is the need for having an event management company? What are the 5 C's involved in an event management? What is the scope of event management? Does it have career options? What are the various career options that we have in event management? What are the skill sets that are required to be a good event planner? And if you don't have the required skill sets, what is it in store for you? So without taking too much of a time, let us just move to the next topic. But before we go to the next topic, I would like to ask you all something. Don't these kind of thoughts come to your mind? What is it in for me? Am I at the right forum? Am I doing the right thing? There are so many event planners. Will I survive in this market? What do I need to be a good event planner? Am I at the right forum? What is the right time to start? Am I too young to start? I don't have an experience. Is it going to be worth it? Will there be growth? Will there be any scope? Let me tell you all are doing the right thing by being here. Years back when we were in college, we didn't have these kind of forums. So, don't waste time. Take your pen and paper, make notes. Hope this session is very, very useful to you. Feel free to get back to me if you have any doubts which needs some more clarifications. I will get back to you on them surely. Let us move to the definition or the understanding of what an event is all about. In simple words, if I were to tell you what an event is all about thinking, coming up with creative ideas, conceptualizing, managing and executing one idea. But this calls for a lot of planning. This calls in for a lot of skills. This calls in for a lot of creation. On one hand, where somebody may tell you there are so many event planners, let me tell you there is still shortage of good event planners. There is room for everybody and there is scope for everybody. So just hang on there, learn, learn and learn, and that is what will better you every time. If I talk about what an event means to me or what is event management according to me, I would say that event management is both an art and a science. It is an art because it is all about creativity. It is all about designing. It is all about thinking and coming up with new ideas. And why is it a science? Because it involves a lot of conceptualizing, a lot of planning, a lot of coordinations, a lot of organizing of things, right from day one till the day D, that is the day of execution or the day of the event. It is just all about an idea. You have a client who has the need of an event. So he may just brief to you and say that this is what it is, or I want to do it on that day, or probably even the date is not finalized, the venue is not finalized. They just have a preconceived idea that I want to do this. It is only when he starts communicating more with you, you understand the purpose of that particular idea. At times, you have clients who don't give you a full brief. They may just come back and tell that, you know what, I want a grand celebration. It's my daughter's wedding. I want a grand celebration. Now, what is grand? Grand may differ from me to the client, to you, and to you. For everybody, the definition of grand, elegance, sober, hi-fi, it is different for everyone. So it is very necessary that you understand and communicate the purpose and objective of that particular event. Based on that, you need to think about how you can execute that particular idea. So it is all about creation, it's all about ideation, it's all about conceptualization and final execution of a preconceived ideas. And finally, you need to meet the objective of that idea and create it in the manner that it gives a wow experience to the clients and to the guests who attend that particular event. Because always remember that not only should the client be happy, your guests should be happy too. And tell me, why should the guests have a good experience? Yes, they are the people who talk about your event. So, if you want to have most of the referrals in business come through word of mouth. So, if you give the wow experience to these guests, they will talk about the event and you may get some more referrals from this one event. Tell me one thing, most of you must have attended some of the other event, right? Be a birthday party, be it a wedding, be it a seminar conference or your college festivals. You must have attended some exhibitions or some trade fairs. What do you remember about that? You may remember the decorations or how the ambience was. You may remember the lighting. You may remember if there were any artists performing, how good were the artists. You may remember the MC and how they engaged the guests. What were the guests doing? Were they taken care of? How was the food? Food plays a very important part in any event. The lights, the sounds, the AVs. If you have a good experience, you talk about it. Oh wow, what an event that was. It was so well coordinated. If you go for an exhibition, for example, you don't know where the ticketing counter is. There's no help you desks. You don't know where you have to go. There are no navigation signages put around. You are completely lost. Do you think you're going to enjoy that event and have a wow experience? Definitely not. And that is where the expertise, the skill, the knowledge of an event planner comes in place. As I said that there are different types of events. I just mentioned that there could be birthdays, weddings, seminars and conferences. But this is not it. The event industry is a wide industry and the scope of events, the different types of events are huge. If I talk about social events, it's just not birthdays or weddings. Social events include different types of events such as milestone celebrations. They also include your special moments where you want to gift an experience, like say on Valentine's Day or say your anniversaries. Your other milestone celebrations could include what shall I say? Which example shall I give? Okay, your cousin, your brother, or a father feels that this child is turning 18, so let's make them feel special by sending a bouquet with some gifts and having a small rock band going there, just two three players who can sing and play on the guitar. It's just a surprise party. Something as small as this is also in the scope of an event planner. If I talk about corporate events, as I said, refer to seminars, conferences, awards and convention, your team building activities, your product launches. There are also campaigns which are run across. It could be the ATL campaigns, it could be BTL campaigns. It could also refer to your digital marketings. There are other events, as in sport events like marathons, your bike racing, your rallies. Your sport events could also include, say, your badminton tournaments. They include your swimming or any form of sports, cricket matches. This could be done at a community level, college levels, intercollegiates, state level, taluk levels, national levels, international levels. Just sky is the limit. There are certain political rallies also which need the help of event planners because they include all the elements which cannot be catered by one person alone. There are several awareness drives like charity events, fundraisers. There could be drives which include Save the Girl Child. There could be the Pink Marathons. There could be many other abuse. There could be drives on abuse. No event can be successful just by fluke. Okay, so if I talk about musical concerts or fashion shows, do you think it is very easy to arrange them? Can just a singer do it? Yes, he can do it. But the way an event planner would do it would be way, way different. So, your musical concerts, your fashion shows, your star award nights, your other cultural festivals, there are other forms of events as well. I'm sure that most of you have attended events. So, what are the kind of events that you've attended? This is just a quick recall. Okay, this is just to make your mind work as we are speaking, as we are learning. What are the kind of events that you've attended and what are the type of events you've loved? What were the type of events which you wish you were a part of? You were organizing them. And if you were organizing them, was there any scope of bettering those events? What would you do to make it a better, successful event? I just give you, say, randomly a 30-second. Just go through this. This will help you in just exercising your mind, thinking of different types of events, thinking of what your interest could be, where you would like to work more upon. Just as I told you, key events is not by flukes. A successful event is a well planned, well conceptualized event wherein you had proper eye for detailings, a right dose of conceptualizing, creativity, coordination, communications, resource management, proper budgeting and estimations, a dedicated team which takes care of your operations and logistics. There is also a lot of risk involved in events. If it is an outdoor event and it starts raining, do you have a backup plan? What would you do that time? Say, God forbid, in an event, there was one incident which had happened in one of the school annual fests wherein the truss came down and fell. Luckily, no child was hurt. But just imagine if there was a child which would have been hurt. Imagine the risk factors that was involved because there was not only damage to property, there could be damage to life as well. So, every event needs to be carefully planned and conceptualized. There are certain rules and regulations that need to be followed. There are certain licenses which need to be thought about and bought. There is an insurance that can be covered for such unforeseen incidents which can happen in an event. So all this requires a lot of listening between departments and a lot of coordination. If a client is about to do all of this and take care of his company or his personal celebrations with his family and his guests, do you think he will be able to put in 100%? If he puts in 100% for the event, do you think he will be able to enjoy the moment? Do you think he has the expertise of handling all this alone, single handedly? That is where an event planner comes into picture. It is the job of an event planner to ensure that the ideas and the concept and the thought of the client is actually put into form and the client is satisfied beyond the expectations. And that is where you as a business model will succeed. As I just mentioned, the need for an event management expertise is because there are a lot of organizational skills, managerial skills required to meet the end objective. You need to market the event pretty well. There are many vendors with whom you need to organize meetings and ensure that all your deliverables are met with on time. And that is when you get a return on investment. And this is precisely why you need an event management company to ensure that the event is delivered flawlessly on the final day. In short, if I have to summarize all that I said in the last few minutes, it is all about the 5 C's of an event. And what are the 5 C's of an event? The first point or the first C of an event is conceptualization. Conceptualization is the main objective. Here, this objective has to be clearly defined right from the first brief. Right from the type of the event, the date, the venue, the list of invitees. It involves a lot of permutations and combinations of creative ideas to ensure that the ambience, the venue, the final objective of that event is met without any problems. This forms the basis to start. The basic concept may undergo few changes based on the inputs which you regularly receive from the client, and even the costing plays a very important role. Hence, conceptualizing is basically all about creating ideas, keeping in mind the end objective of that particular event and setting the theme of that event. Our second C is all about costing. That is, you need to estimate the cost of production. If you go wrong in estimating the cost of the production and give the wrong estimate or inadequate estimate to the client, you may undergo losses. And you cannot go back to the client and say that you made a mistake and hence you need to revisit the estimate. Of course, you can revisit the estimates when it comes to changes in elements. But with what you are suggesting, you cannot go back and forth on the rates again and again. So hence, once the concept is clear to you, you need to picturize this concept. You believe that this is the best that can be done and delivered by given the brief, the requirements, the requests, the kind of venue and the objective of that particular event. The estimate includes the cost of production, procurement, your staffing, the logistics, that is your transportation, the labor costs. Also have a scope of keeping the required bare minimum margins that you require to be an event management company. And that is when you get a fair idea of the estimate. Once you have the estimate, you need to seek the right audience. This needs a lot of networking. So right audience is just not your guest list. Right audience is also your list of vendors, your suppliers. You need to have the clear objective in mind, and having that in mind, you need to connect with people. Once all this is done, you need to customize this entire package for your client. So this is, you curate this particular idea, considering the client needs. and marketing objectives of this particular event. The brand, the personalities have to be maintained. So you have to ensure that when you're curating this particular idea, you understand where your brand stands of date. You cannot hamper their image. The aspirations of the client has to be met, and the costing has to be taken care while you're customizing this entire package. Finally comes the final C, that is carrying out of the event, that is executing on the final day as planned with thorough professionalism and coordination between all your departments. Take all necessary precautions such that the concept which you had first determined, the first C, is taken care in your final C, that is when you are delivering that particular event. So to sum it up, the 5 C's are your conceptualizing, your costing, your canvassing, your customization, and carrying out of the event. I trust this is clear with you. As I just mentioned, what is it in for me? So if you want to become an event planner, the options that you have are, you can be a consultant. So what do you mean by a consultant? A consultant is a person who chooses to work in an event management company in the department of your choice. Say you're very good at digital marketing, you may join the digital marketing team. If you are a creative brain, you may want to be a part of the creative team. If you're very good with layouts, with planning, with logistics, you may want to take up that department. So based on your interest and expertise, you can choose the department in which you would like to work. Here you join an existing event management company. Your second option is you be a freelancer. In case you don't like to work for just one company, but you want to do multiple projects with different event planners, you may choose to be an event coordinator. Here you work with different event companies on project basis. And the third is what I am, a business owner. So if you're an ambitious entrepreneur, you may start your own event management company. And once you start this event management company, then you have various departments. So as a business owner, you need to have certain investments. You need to have very good leadership qualities. You should have the right vision to take your company forward. So what is the scope of events? So when I talk about scope of events, you could be an event planner or an event coordinator. You could be an event designer. You could be a wedding planner. You could be a venue manager. You could be a social media coordinator, or you could join the sales team or the marketing teams of events. The list can go on and on. There are so many scopes for events. You could join the legal teams, wherein you're in charge of taking care of all the legal aspects of an event. You can join the licensing team. You can also be the vendors or suppliers or resource person. If I just have to talk to you on a little brief on what is the difference between an event planner or an event coordinator or an event designer, on the face value, you feel that everything sounds the same. How is it different? After all, the job in any of this field is the same. But there is just a small difference, a thin line between each. If I talk about event planner, an event planner is somebody who comes with experience. They have the responsibility of ensuring that the client is happy at the end of the day. His final objective is met. Generally, it is an event planner who takes all critical decisions. They work directly with the client and or the customers, and they ensure that the visions and budgets of that particular event are met with comfortably. What does an event coordinator do? An event coordinator generally does not get involved with the designing part of it. They are a great position to start off your career. It gives you the experience with every event. You will be responsible to ensure that all the details are met with. What was committed to the client is finally executed on the day of the event as planned. You would be coordinating with the suppliers or the vendors to turn up on time and do the setups or deliver the set on time. And what does an event designer do? An event designer is the creative mind. You just take them to a venue and just show it to them, or you just give them a concept. Their mind starts working. They want to create the best ambience. They would work in such a manner that whether it's your textures, whether it's your colors, whether it's your lighting, whether it's your flowers, or just your basic setups. How creative can it be? How do you create the wow experience in creating that particular ambience? Be it a furniture or be it your decorations, they are the people who correlate all these elements and bring it to life. A venue manager is of very great importance because most of the events demand good venues. You need to know whether the event is going to be in the day or in the night, in what season, is it an outdoor event or an indoor event, because your elements differ accordingly. You may need different lights if it is an indoor event, and you may need different lights if it's an outdoor event, especially if it is an evening or a late night event. Most of the venues have their own venue coordinators. So the event planner, the SPOC of the event planner, that is the point of contact of the event planner, needs to coordinate with the event coordinators or the venue coordinators of that particular venue. You could be a wedding planner, just as I said, when you talk about wedding planners, they specialize in weddings. You could be a sales representative or the marketing representative of your company, wherein you try to get new clients or meet the objectives of that particular campaign. Let me tell you one thing, irrespective of what department you handle, if you're on field, right, you may tend to do more than what your portfolio asks for, and that is the beauty of being an event planner. You are a multitasker. You do many things. At times I've become a labor too, and there's nothing wrong with it. At the end of the day, it is your event. You want it to be the best, so be ready to do job skipping, portfolio skipping. This is one of the parts of your skills required. Believe me, the first skill that you need to have for being a very good event planner is being passionate about what you are doing. If you don't love what you do, you will not be good at it. No matter how much money flows, at the end of the day, job satisfaction is of utmost importance. The essential ingredients of any event are entertainment and showmanship. But before that, there is a lot that goes into coming to this part of it. A well executed event is never an accident. It is well planned, thought through, and you have an eye to detail such that you don't miss out on any minute details. You have your tasks to do's. You have a checklist which you follow. Is this done? Yes, this is done. Is this not done? What was the time frame? Who is the point of contact for this? Whose responsibility it is? At the end of the day, trust me, it is an event planner's responsibility to ensure, but in your team who are supposed to be taking care of it. Here you all are dealing with a variety of people from all sectors, right from your clients, your sponsors, your venues, your suppliers, your labor class, your departments where you need to get your licenses from. Hence, it is very necessary that you are a very good listener and a humble speaker, because you will not be able to communicate your ideas if you don't have these essential qualities. I believe a lot of soft skills are also required for being a good event planner. When I say soft skills, it means you need to be calm. There is going to be a lot of stress on the event day. Right from the day you take up an event till the day it is finally executed, and there are certain events wherein even the next day you have to report back to the client, you have to give them the database and stuff like that. So you need to be very calm and you need to think on the feet. Your plan A, plan B, plan C, jitne bhi plans hai, keep them in place, and you should always be prepared for the worst. Don't keep scope for any surprises. There should be absolutely no room for surprises, because if you're not equipped to handle that surprise, it can turn into a disaster. You should be tactful in negotiating. not just with the client, with the suppliers as well. Also, when you are talking with the other departments, you need to be very good at negotiations. As I mentioned, that when you're an event planner, there's a lot of job juggling. Okay, there's a lot of multitasking. There's a lot of time constraints on you. There could be delays from some people, wherein you think that if I pitch in, yes, I can help. So there's a lot of brainstorming. There's a lot of calculated risks that you're taking. You have to have a good amount of creativity and positive attitude. And your positive attitude should say that, yes, I do care. Your event is my event as well. This is the confidence which you need to give to the client time and again. And just go with the flow. Know your logistics, know your layouts, know your ambience. Have your checklists in place. Communicate again and again with the client. See if the client has any last minute requirements. Event industry is one of the major industries which is contributing to the growth and economy. There is always scope for a frontline management and a back-end management. And this requires a lot of coordination. So just as I told you, if you look at what I'm presenting to you, you should be a good problem solver, because when something comes on plate to you which you're not prepared for, you should be able to think immediately and solve the problem and come up with solutions without even the client realizing that there is a problem. Be a creative head, give eye to details, be very good in communicating both with the client as well as your suppliers and with your marketers and everybody who are involved in that particular event. I mentioned that multitasking is very important. You should be adaptable to changes, to incorporate the last minute requirements. The willingness to learn is a willingness to earn more. Stay within your budgets. That is what are the skill sets that are required. There is also a scope for unskilled labor always. There are lots of things which just don't require to have gone through hundreds of books. Just be there, be in the moment, and go with the flow and do your best. So, just a quick recap of what we've learned so far. We discussed what an event management is all about. I said that event management is an art and science. We discussed the various types of events, be it social, be it corporate. We also discussed the musical, award nights, sport events, and drives. We discussed about the 5 C's of an event management and why an event management company is required. What is the scope and growth of being an event planner? What are the various career options that are available in an event management? What are the skill sets that are required? This was a brief that was given to you about the demand and scope of events. Trust me, if I can do it, you can do it too. All you need to do is just believe in yourself and go for it. Don't mess up, don't screw up. If you just take care of what was just brushed through you, then yes, there is a lot of scope and there's a lot of growth in event industry. We started with just one city, Bangalore. Today we are doing pan-India events. We have our event companies. We have our presence in 4 cities. We cater to pan-India requirements, and for weddings, we look forward to destination weddings as well. And this did not happen overnight. A lot of our hard work, dedication, a lot of ideations have gone into it. So trust me, if I can do it, you can do it too. And then sky is the limit. Would you not want to reach there? In case you still need my help, feel free to write to me at anithamakharia@gmail.com. Wishing you all the very best. Looking forward to see you in the next session. Thank you so much. Or shall I just say, Shubh Kamnaएं.